Okay, so we have a scenario where we're looking at, we're dealing with a client that we've gone through a client needs assessment, and we discover or we uncover that they need to protect their assets. One of the biggest threats to their assets is a long-term care stay. And there's a policy that is so doggone unique and just a great policy that incorporates life insurance and long-term care in one policy. And it's going to look like this. So we've already uncovered that there's a significant amount of assets to protect, and they don't want to lose all that money to the nursing home. They've heard time and time again or had family experience where they've gone through all of their assets and ended up on state aid. They had to sell their house, they had to sell their car, they went through all of their cash, and now they're on public aid, on Medicaid. And they don't want that to happen to them. They want to protect their assets. And so here, Mrs. Jones, is a policy that's going to work really, really simple. Let's just use round numbers and let's call it a $100,000 death benefit. And Mrs. Jones, you're going to be able to have this policy, and upon death, your beneficiaries are going to receive a $100,000 income tax free. But the unique thing about this, Mrs. Jones, is if you were to require care for long-term care services, which will include home care, assisted living, nursing home, or adult daycare, this policy will pay you 4% per month of your life insurance total. So in this example, 4% of $100,000 is $4,000. Mrs. Jones, you're going to be able to use $4,000 to pay somebody to come into your home to take care of you, or $4,000 a month to go into that assisted living facility or nursing home or adult daycare. So use the example that Mrs. Jones, you have a $100,000 policy, and you use $50,000 for care, and you pass away. Your beneficiaries get the remaining amount, $50,000 in this example, income tax free. So what I love about the policy, a couple of things. Number one, the premiums are guaranteed. It's a big deal because when we're trying to cover the need of long-term care with a traditional long-term care policy, premiums are not guaranteed. So it's a big deal that this life insurance solution with a long-term care rider, premiums are guaranteed. Number two, you're guaranteed to use it. Mrs. Jones, you're going to pay all of this money into this policy. Let me rephrase that. All of the money that you pay into this policy, you know there's going to be a benefit received from it. Unlike other types of insurance, you could pay a tremendous amount of money towards a policy, and if you never use it, you don't get any benefit out. With this policy, you're guaranteed to use it. You're guaranteed to receive a benefit off of it. So what we do as we're going through the presentation with the client, it's going to look like, Mrs. Jones, you understand there's a need to protect your assets, number one. Number two, this is a great solution to protect your assets. And number three, we have to find out if you're insurable. To find out if we can get this type of coverage for you, I would like to start with filling out an application to see if you are going to be eligible. Gives us plenty of time to think about it. Takes 60 to 90 days for underwriting to complete their process, and then we will present you with an offer or pricing. You'll have several options that you can tailor this policy to your budget. So with life insurance and long-term care, it's going to look something along those lines. You definitely have many other ways you can approach that, but for us, that is probably the best way to approach the subject of life insurance with long-term care.